Waking Up Singapore.
Gotta get up.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show. Glenn Angel and the Flying Dutchman. The show is brought to you by Caro. And today we are so honored to have our very, very, very colorful guest. I've been a fan for many, many years. He is, and I always say, Malaysia Bule, the one, the only, one of the most amazing chefs in the world, Chef Wan.
Ayo, don't say amazing lah, boleh lah. Malaysia always boleh lah.
Good morning, Chef.
morning,
Welcome to Singapore.
You're so pretty, huh? Got no makeup, all so natural.
Thank you so much. I wake up like this every day.
Really, you're so lucky.
Yeah, she's a problem for us. When we do photo shoots and all that for magazines and whatever, we always have to take it again because they feel like, oh, she's too pretty.
Oh, no, nonsense.
And then not a lot of makeup, simple like that. So sweet lah.
Oh, thank you. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. I'm your fan too lah.
Now you are.
My room number 586.
At the Park Royal.
Let's talk about that later, okay? If you serve me some food, I might think about it.
But Chef, I just want to say that you look amazing.
You do.
Oh, thank you.
You look, I am not going to say you look bule only. You look amazing. I mean, I think the last time we had a chat, on the radio was at least maybe 7 or 8 years ago. But every time we see you, you look fitter, your skin is tighter. Amazing.
You just made his day, right? You know this, right?
But I'm telling the truth. I only speak the truth.
Lucky lah, I just turned 65. Now already at that category, ayam pencen now. We call it retired chicken now, But I think, everywhere I go and people see me, say, hey, don't you ever age? I say, got lah, a few lines. But these days, a bit of,
this and that.
This and that lah, iron lah, now got PRP lah, you have to do, they suck your blood like Dracula like that. They spin and they poke here, poke there, I didn't want to do Botox because, my smile all very natural, kan? So I didn't, I say, okay lah, I just do all that stuff lah, and then of course laser like anything, like one day bengkak your face, swollen like pumpkin like that for 2 days, cannot go out.
But that's okay because you look great for the rest of the time.
Red there, bruise here, bruise there, like somebody whack you. Sometimes I go to market, they say, hey, why you face like that, bro? I say domestic violence. Domestic violence, what to do? Sometimes you got to enjoy yourself to be a punchback.
No. Careful now, careful. We don't promote that.
If Chef wasn't a chef, he could be, I think, one of the top comedians in the world as well. Which is why it's a deadly combination that he has. So skillful as a chef. He's also so entertaining. This has been the secret of your success.
I know.
For so many years.
I always love to laugh. I think life is too short, lah, kan?
Yeah.
These days you see people drop like flies and all kinds of things that happen around us, from earthquake, you name it, lah. A lot of things, lah. War and all that. So for me, every time I get up in the morning, I like, to have, a bit of happiness, lah. By just looking at myself and, look at the mirror, put some face cream, all the hair, massage the neck, massage my breast a bit, all that. Hey, must do, kelepak, because we need to firm up our body, our skin, lah. Because everything all now, you look at my neck like turkey neck, so must urut massage. So that's the first part in the morning, like, feeling good.
Your ritual.
Ritual, beauty, and take walk lah, do gardening lah, make yourself useful and all that. I'm also a domestic goddess also.
Yeah, really?
Of
I
course
love
you
house
are.
cleaning.
My.
I do. People tell you, you're crazy what you got maid, but you still doing it. I just love to be a slave lah, to be a slave working. Make yourself useful lah. Don't get ideas, I'm a slave in the house lah.
Of course. So yes, we didn't think anything else.
No,
Never.
I just want to say, these days, my boobs are also going kerebak.
And not only that, even my what do you call my
behind?
buttock also, when I walk, like jello already, I can feel it. It used to be like firm, Nowadays,
You
no
can feel it hitting your thighs.
Even the wind when you blow, I remember last year I went to Langkawi, you can see a klepak. I said, hey, is there any flag here? And turned out to be nowhere lah, coming from my own chest
Speaking of jello, maybe we'll ask Chef Wan for his jello recipe. I love jello.
It's the best food.
You need to watch Chef Wan as well, not just listen to him. So join us on The Big Show TV. We're on Facebook as well as YouTube Live. Head there now. It's youtube.com/Kiss92FM.
It's 8:05.
Kiss 92 time check brought to you by
Okay.
Okay, enough with the gonna.
Okay, chef.
We have to talk serious here.
Yeah,
Yes,
now
yes,
let's do the
talk about
serious
We have
food and
time.
stuff.
We have so much
We have so
time.
much
We have a whole hour.
For
Talk
the
about
five
food.
people, who don't know you, because there are only 5 in Singapore who don't know you, how did you get started in this business?
Oh God, I think about 33 years ago, I came back from Hawaii. I was a private chef there for many years because I've lived in the state for like 14 years at that time, working in San Francisco, in Vancouver, and then of course Hawaii. So when I decided to come back, and I think it all started by just them having me on a morning show to interview me, being previously an accountant working in the bank. All this counting
that's-
money.
you were an
yeah,
accountant.
yeah.
Wow.
And the bank at that time, and I was working with Watley Merchant Bank, and left that work for 7 years in the bank, and suddenly changed my career to be a chef. So they wanted to know, like, what is wrong here? You have people counting all this money, and suddenly you go down, like, to be just what we call in those days, like tukang masak lah.
Yeah.
Because tukang masak those days, or we call cook or chef lah, whatever. Not very
It was
glamorous.
not glamorous,
Not glamorous
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And they were not any celebrity chef also that I see on TV before,
Yeah.
except in the US. I mean, in the US, no, I mean in the UK, they have people like Floyd,
Yes, Floyd.
at that time beginning, and then all of that, and so that many. So I went on TV like what you call this new, fresh air lah. Because I came back, and then they said, hey, we want you to do a TV show, because after that morning interview, I was talking about Barbra Streisand, Reagan lah, that time when we used to cook things and in Hawaii and doing stuff also, and so, just name dropping lah, whether true or not, don't care lah,
We're not going to verify it. It's
all
okay.
that.
Anybody.
Also, Elizabeth Taylor died already.
Michael Jackson also, yeah.
They all died.
Yeah.
So just drop down there so you cannot ask them. So anyway, that's the thing lah. And then they say, wow, you're chef of the star. Cook for many famous people, all that, then travel everywhere. So they put me on TV. Then suddenly TV station called me, TV3. They say, hey, can you want to come on the show lah? But of course, during the time also when I was in Vancouver, also they invited me like guest chef on Chef About Town programs. So I'm quite used to being on TV like just roll and just open my big mouth lah.
I remember TV3.
Then they put me on TV on that program. So when I came in, there were other chefs as well. But because I had to do all this Hawaiian cuisine and then for Mexican all that, so I really styled up the set with all this Mexican chili, wearing sombrero. So I was very different because I'm such a what do you call a show person lah.
So flamboyant.
Flamboyant lah, So it's very casual. Then go on the beach in Pulau Pangkor. That time I set up like a Hawaiian luau, wear all the lei flower.
Did you wear was it the grass skirt? As well, the grass skirt? Yeah. Of course.
So for Malaysian, tengok chef like gini, wow, tu chef boleh gini kan. So then they really like lah. And then of course I share about my journey, my travel, and I love cooking. And then because being professionally trained, you got to teach them to do things in a very professional way. The technique is very important. I'm like a bit like Gordon Ramsay. Like, so you think Gordon Ramsay famous before? Hello. Long time ago, okay? All that. What do you call that? Who is that Chinese guy? That very funny comedian.
Yan can cook?
No,
not which
that's the one
Chinese
that
guy?
always slam all the chef one.
Chinese?
The Chinese comedian.
The latest
Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger.
Yeah, because
He's Malaysian, isn't he?
he came to interview me and then trying to put me down. In the end, I kasar put him down. Excuse me, I thought not knock down after my diamond come out. By the way, this also my birthday present.
Very nice.
Is that a wow? Is that a
What
ruby?
is it?
Don't rob me, because you got to come to my house treasure hunting.
We already know
This
which
a
room
pigeon
you're
ruby
in. It's a ruby.
When I turned at time 60 lah, now I'm 65. I said I got to buy something like look a bit like macam like royalty.
Present to yourself.
Royalty lah. Later we talk about the royal cuisine. Not talk about my royal ring all a bit. So that was the experience coming to be a chef. Going in and they put me on the show and then they love it because suddenly the rating went skyrocketing up. They said, we've never seen a chef on that go in and like talk like bullet train like that non-stop. Half the time the Mat Salleh also when I do all the show overseas, I said, when I finish the show I said how everything. What did he say? What he talking about?
They didn't understand you.
Because I'm like a bullet train now. Like that, So over the years, I had all this wonderful career as a food ambassador to Malaysia, and now I'm also an ambassador for Qatar Airways. We won 7 years in a row.
That's true.
The best airline. So you see my food on business class.
So you create the food.
Yes,
the
on
menu.
board and all that. So like that.
Nice.
So in other words, I think you made your debut in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
that was when I first watched you on TV as
That's
well.
right.
So
Yeah.
TV Tiga was,
Yeah.
you know,
We used to get it
you know
in
what I
Singapore,
also
yeah.
used to like about TV Tiga? Wan Zaleha.
Yeah.
So pretty,
Those days lah. Even Mahathir Lokman, all the oldies, you know.
Correct. Yeah, and then I saw you on Singapore TV as well. They came to
Media Corp.
they
I came to work.
get you. At that time it
I
was
also did Yan
SBC.
Can Cook also.
SBC at that
Yes,
time. Huh?
SBC. And Yan always on the show said, if Yan can cook, I turn on, so can Wan too. And the guy, this guy, baru invite him a few episodes, trying to promote himself. Wan can cook, Chef Wan. I always say, Yan can cook, Wan can cook too. On the show. So that's how I became famous. And then worldwide also doing series on BBC, traveling
right,
all over the
yeah.
world. Yeah.
And that's the thing, you see. I mean, before I think I was probably like maybe 12, 13 years old, and you appealed to me.
Yeah.
So he was appealing to a very wide audience
you
at that
were.
time.
Yeah.
You
Both
were.
the adults as well as the children.
And then
You
they
know,
did a survey as well at the time when how come the rating is so high every time, and turned out to be like O&M at that time was doing a TV rating for a commercial, because I was doing a lot of TV commercial. And they said this guy appealed to just about
Everybody.
anybody, from old people, young people, kids, and all that, and then across all culture.
Yeah.
I think just being who you are. I mean, everybody loves someone who is funny, who likes, to make a fool of themselves sometimes.
Authenticity.
Be real.
I mean, I've sat through one of your
Stand by,
workshops
we're going
as
back on
well.
air first,
We will
huh?
talk
On air.
about that when
Okay.
we come back.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, for you, I'd leave it all.
What a track. George Ezra with Budapest right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We are so honored to have with us this morning as our very special guest, Chef Wan.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. So, Chef Wan,
Yes.
earlier on the Big Show TV, you said you were actually an accountant before you became a chef.
Yes.
What made you do that switch? What made you
I
make
think
that
it's for the
switch?
longest time I've always loved to cook. Even when I was young, as an 8-year-old child, and my father was in the Royal Malaysian Air
That's
Force.
right.
First, he was in Singapore Air Force.
Okay.
Then married my mother, and they moved because they had to separate Singapore and Malaysia.
You were born in Singapore, weren't you?
Hey, Kanang Kerbau, okay?
Yeah, wow, okay,
Yes, Kanang
okay.
Kerbau kid, okay? So that's why, so my mother, went back with my father, and then of course they lived in Malaysia for so many years. So at that time, because I was doing well in school and all that, so my father, those days, if you have your son, you want your son either to be a doctor,
A lawyer,
accountant, engineer,
Nobody
usual
wants to
things.
be your tukang masak. Your father look at you like, what, you're crazy or what? You're a smart, straight A student. You go and do, you do well in mathematics. You go be a rocket scientist if you want,
Yeah.
my father said, but not tukang masak. So I was like pushed, to go to study accountancy, which I did well. Then I work. But that 7 years also when I was working, I was selling Amway. I was doing Avon cosmetic.
Oh, my.
Oh, word. Okay.
Makeup.
Door to door,
Yeah.
door to door.
I was like, I could sell ice to Eskimo.
Wow.
When I open my mouth means all the lady melt lah. They melt because anything I sell from one lipstick to deodorant everything they buy, even all banishing cream lah, don't know wrinkle thing, whatever, all they buy. Then I begin to learn the art of what we call bullshit lah. The art of bullshit. Master your bullshit, but do it well lah.
If you cannot convince, confuse.
Do it well lah. So you like. That's why it's funny though how my career started. Even when I go to around the world, doing all my show, performing in all the celebrity chef performing theatre and all the big world, food expo, and you have many chefs, and they always say, the thing with you, Chef Wan, you really pulls the crowd. Every time we have you on board, it's like, wow, look at the crowd, so full. And then, the things that, like, you one end, you're like a stand-up comedian, you're a historian sharing history about food, you're a chef, you're just everything put together. You're like a time bomb, you see, like, so that's what I remembered,
Yeah.
So that's why in that younger days, when you have that talent, yes, you can cook, but also because you feel that, you want to make extra money lah. So I went into all that. So then when I went to direct scene, I was making tons of money. And what do I do every time when the lady comes over the weekend to the house? I would make soto ayam lah, make this lah, make mee rebus lah, make mee siam, do all kind. And all the lady just melt when they have all your scones, everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of like self-trained. I used to pick all these women's magazine, tear all the recipe book, put and balik, test lah. It's out of curiosity. But because when you see something good and then you share, you give to all these ladies
Right.
makan, and they love you because they all get Tupperware to take back some more. And then not only that, they buy your product, and then you make so much money. And then you buy all the product, you give them back. Hey, your birthday, take. Everything I'm like Mother Teresa those days. They love me, And lipstick, all don't give sample, all the real stuff, Here's my heart, the minyak wangi lah, apa benda. So when they say, hey, you're so kind, you always give. So then you meet a lot of business. You know, you build trust and you're kind to people. So I think it's important. My career has always been like that. It's all about giving, just like being a chef as well. No, I get a lot of wonderful recipe. Sometimes I bake, sometimes I steal from other chefs elsewhere and all that. And then I come back and I get them. After that, I put on TV lah. Cook. But always credit them lah. Okay, this is from Madhu Jeffrey cookbook. We're going to cook today from page 86, prawn Canada, or we call boleh lah. And so when we cook, and then people say, "Oh my God, I love." And sometimes I cook even from cookbook. So people say, yeah, you're so humble because you know you would do something and then promote and sell somebody's cookbook. Why not?
Why not?
Because they're there. You know, you just need to be truthful. Everybody tests cookbook, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why people sometimes say that. So then I became to realize, you know, I became popular also by just being who I am. You know, being humble, being kind. I learned by giving, sharing. Even to today, you know, I just, you know, we had 9 restaurants. Imagine, we just opened 9 and the 10th one is coming up. And part of the money also proceed. We create foundation for students or university. I gave this and I earned all these honorary doctorate award from different university and all that. So I begin to realize the career moved so much from just, you know, being who you are. And that's why, you know, at that time, you know, working with the bank is exciting for me, but doing all those direct selling also, because it teaches you how to market and promotion, to sell, and to create your own brand as well.
Right.
The Chef Wan brand.
Yes.
Yeah, for just being who you are.
And now Chef Wan is in Singapore to showcase Malaysia's palace cuisine.
Yeah.
And it's going to be at the Park Royal.
It is. It's going to be at the Park Royal from the 5th of March till the 30th of April. And this is just on time for Ramadan.
Correct.
And this is why you're doing this. It's been 5 years since you've been
I
here,
know,
Chef, doing
it's a
something
long
special.
time, yes.
You want to tell us, just introduce a little bit of the cuisine that you'll be preparing for that?
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people be asking me, is there such a thing as the cuisine de la Royal Palace? So excuse me for my French, you know. So, you know, in Malaysia, we have many sultan now, you know, from all the different states and all that. And of course, we have the king, the Agong. And you notice that every palace from Terengganu to Johor, from the state of Pahang and Perak and all that, they all have their own, even Selangor, their own kind of like, you know, well-kept secret recipe from the palace. And usually palace cuisines are certain dishes that's only cooked at the palace for special occasion. For example, for weddings, royal weddings.
Yeah.
And then when they give you all the pingat Datuk Ship lah, what do you call it?
Awards.
Investitures.
Investitures.
My English not so good lah. What
Your
is it?
French is better.
Investitures.
Investiture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you lah because
What?
you're a Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
But you Dutch really?
Dutch heritage.
Oh, no wonder.
Dutch heritage.
I like your ear
No
like
wonder
Mickey Mouse.
putih.
Is that Mickey Mouse like M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E?
Chef, let's go on the
They
big
listen
show.
better.
Let's go on the Big Show TV and continue this this conversation.
So
All right.
you
Oh, wait,
notice...
one second. One
So
second.
this is Dance with Cake by the Ocean on Kiss 92.
Okay, now you can. The satellite.
Singtel uses me sometimes.
Now we
Okay,
can
so
talk about your cuisine.
This cuisine in the palaces changes from state to state because each state, even if you travel Malaysia, each state has a different flavor to its food, right?
The influence.
Yeah.
Because, for example, when you go up Kelantan, it's a bit Thai as well, so it's
Yeah.
sweeter. And
Yeah.
Terengganu, because of a lot of Arabic, you know, influence as well. Those days they were trading salt, you know, and all
Right.
kinds of things. The Arabs, and then when you go down to Selangor, it's very much Bugis.
Okay.
Yeah, Bugis. So you see a lot of, you know, food also influenced by that area, like, you know, the Celebes Island, like Mindanao, you know, all that, and Ujung Padang and all that. And then when you go down south, Johor is more Javanese in that kind of thing. Yeah. So
Right.
that's why, you know, all this influence has a lot of bearing on each state's cuisine. Now, going back to the palace cuisine, you'll notice that. So for you to enjoy this kind of food, usually you need to go to attend ceremony, like, you know, they're giving the name, Hari Perkahwinan Diraja.
And not everyone gets
they will
invited,
Yeah,
right?
yes. And then so they featured that. So over the years, how I managed to gather many of these recipes is because, you know, I sometimes get invited to the palace, and of course, being a chef, you know, I have to really, how we call it, in English, kiss ass. Like,
It's the same. It's the same.
something
Yeah,
it's the same, yeah.
So you have to be nice to all the chef, you know. So you're nice to them, and after that you can they share your recipe, their recipe lah. So then I get them, and then I cook for them. And also I've used many of these recipes also in many very important states dinners. For example, when I was invited a couple of times to Davos for the World Economic Forum, so I used to cook for all the big prime ministers and head of states and all that. And also, you know, for example, here when I was also here for the Formula One before at Fullerton, we did dinners before for all the big boys and you know, all those racing thing. So over the years, you know, I've gone to many embassy around the world for Merdeka on our Independent Day, and we will host dinner for all the foreign diplomats and all that. And I always featured the palace cuisine of Malaysia. I call it Malay traditional food. Yeah, at its best, at its best, a meal fit for the Sultan.
Nice. Okay.
So a meal fit for the. So when you have that kind of dishes, so we pick, you know. So for example, in Johor, there are many dishes. So I've picked, for example, the laksa Johor is very popular, and then the kuzi kambing. So the kuzi kambing is actually braised.
I think we have pictures of the dishes that we're going to flash on the
but the
screen.
picture, this one cooked by the chef.
not you. Is this it?
So they don't present it very well. It doesn't represent me.
It looks alright.
But the taste lah.
The taste is there.
Yeah.
So the middle dish is the
Laksa.
Laksa Johor, and then of course you
What's the
have
difference between the laksa Johor and the
we have
Nyonya
many
laksa?
Because laksa Johor, the gravy is actually made of what do you call that, mackerel fish, and then we have salted fish as well, and prawn, 3 kinds, prawn meat, all grounded together into the paste, special made curry paste that typically for laksa Johor, with all the, of course, lemongrass, bunga kanta, all that grounded together, and then you have krisek inside there, and it's served, guess what, with spaghetti.
Oh, wow.
They
So
use
this
spaghetti.
is not stuff you can get on the streets. This is true royal cuisine.
Yes, royal cuisine.
Because I've never heard
they
of
always
this.
serve that, you know, for like I told you, for all kinds of important palace function. Then we have the kuzi Johor. Now I learned that recipe many years ago. There was a marriage of this Sultan of Pahang's son, Tengku Muda, with Juwita. She was an SIA stewardess before,
Right.
and married her, and they have this big wedding from Singapore, and of course they merged in Pahang, and so they cook this whole lamb. Imagine to feed 2,000 people for the wedding. They have 38 whole lamb.
Wow.
They take this lamb, let's say half of you, or three, no, half.
See, you looking at me again.
I'm trying to figure out
Maybe
or
that's-
maybe 3/4 of line judgment. Put on the table, whole, okay? And then they stuff inside
Should
the
we
stomach.
lie him on the table just so you can see the...
Take off your clothes. and they stuff the stomach of the lamb, with all kinds of rice. They put rice and put pomegranate. You have gizzard. You have all kinds of things.
Oh, wow.
And then they sew the rice into the nip.
Right.
So means stuff lah. So like big belly, and then after that they marinate with lemons and all kinds of spices, and then they cook the
For how long?
onions, all that. They are simmered into that name for 5-6 hours until the
Right.
meat just falls off the
Falls off.
bone. Then they lay them on the big copper tray, giant tray, and then carry them and then service like Garidon service kind of all the meat, and you can pull out, and then they, of course, they unsew the stomach, and then the rice all come out lah. And then you see all kinds of jewels. How royalty, they love the jewels, So you got green color lah, all kinds of shit
right.
they put inside there, and all this red pomegranate, they think they really get
Rubies.
tons of ruby inside there, so to speak, But it's delicious. So I watched that and how they marinate and cook that and all that, and 38, and they had this giant makeshift kitchen. I remember chefs from all the military they use as well. So there was quite the big palace chef that went to cook that and to make sure that the kuzi kambing is perfect. Yeah. So from that time when I learned and how delicious it was, so I've been using many of these recipes. And cook everywhere around the world. Then of course, we also have the famous Kelantan ayam percik. Also very well known also, Sajian Istana, and again the chicken is cooked in all kinds of spices, and after that they grill it. And if you go to Kelantan also, you see the typical percik. So the percik means it's just like they base it, but then all this chicken tastes so yummy and tasty. And of course there are many kinds of rice that accompany them as well in different palaces.
What's the cooking technique for this one, the ayam
The
percik?
percik is more grill. That
Right,
is more,
okay.
more grill, but then you still need to cook them, with also usually we use spring chicken and all that. So it's very yummy. So a bit labor intensive, but it's nice. So that's why I thought it's nice to introduce this typical Sajian Istana Melayu, because I want to preserve this food, That's why when we just opened our new D1, that's my 9th restaurant in Bangsa.
Congratulations.
Malay restaurant, and we just won the Beep Goman Michelin
Oh,
Star Award.
nice. Congratulations.
Michelin Star, we won that, the
Congratulations.
Beep Goman. So it's very, very, very lucky to
Yeah.
get that. So we try to introduce also all the different Sajian Istana Melayu from different states. because all this heritage we must keep lah.
Yes,
course.
for
Pass
sure.
down, yeah?
For
Of
sure.
course. Hey, this is all happening at Ginger at Park Royal on Beach Road. Okay, I just want everybody to know that.
Yeah, it kicks off on the 5th of March. And Chef, we'd just like to say good morning from some of your fans watching
So
on
many of them.
YouTube. We have
Oh,
Grace,
thank you. Hello,
we have
Grace.
Sakina,
Hi, Sakina.
Valia, Jane. Jane says the way Chef Wan describes it is making us drool. Alamak, I haven't even had breakfast.
Yeah, I know.
See my tongue macam
And Grace is laughing on her way to work. She's watching us from the
Oh,
car
thank you, Grace.
on a rainy day with a lot of traffic. Grace, please be careful. So good morning from them.
Chef,
Yes.
I want to know, because also in your palace menu is kerbau mihan nyonya.
Kerabu, not kerbau.
Kerabu,
Aduh,
sorry, kerbau.
Ini Flying Dutchman
Sorry.
tak kena kerbau dengan
kerbau.
kau jangan kerbau aku.
sorry,
dah. Penuh lah.
Kerabu.
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 What is kerabu?
How did the nyonya get into the
Okay,
palace?
okay. Beside the palace cuisine, I thought since I'm in Singapore, I wanted to introduce my favorite Ramadan noodle, which is passed down from my great grandmother that died 98 in Singapore. Dia peranakkan Singapore.
Okay.
My grandmother died 96, and my mother just passed away about a month ago.
Oh,
and,
so
yeah,
sorry about
and she's
that.
90. So we're
Wow.
talking about almost 300 years of a generation of passing this noodle. And now to me, I'm 65, so it's going to be soon, very soon, 400 years lah.
Wow.
So imagine when we have this recipe in the family, I thought a tribute to my mother,
We do want
which just
traffic
passed away.
first, sorry.
Okay, hang on, hold
Okay,
on,
hold on,
hold on.
Chef.
Okay, just looking at the roads, please be careful because the roads are wet out there. We've got heavy traffic all over the place, as well as an accident. This is on the PIE towards Changi Airport, right after Paya Lebar. Avoid the rightmost lane. Also on Jalan Kembangan towards Lengkong Tiga after Jalan Lapang. An accident has been reported. If you have anything else, the number is 8855-0920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We just had to give you a traffic update there because it's terrible out on the roads
is.
this
Yes.
morning,
It is
and I
this
think that many people are miserable, stuck in jams and all that.
No,
But
they cannot be miserable. I'm here. What?
Exactly.
You know what? I'm just talking like shocked. Like I'm like wow, like at the peak of my SSC, whatever. Suddenly stop like that.
Traffic.
I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Traffic update.
Potong steam like
Traffic
that.
update.
I'm shocked like that.
And that's why I think all our KISS fans who are stuck in traffic, are all having a smile on their faces because of you this morning.
Correct. But if you're in the car, fine. But if you're in the office, you know what? You can also watch us like Fami. He's secretly watching us from the office. We won't tell anyone,
We won't tell
Fami.
anybody, Fami. So you were explaining that
Wait. Sometimes I'm talk like that, excited now, like
Yeah.
wire snap, like putul, like short circuit.
Be
like that.
excited, be excited. It's
Early
okay.
dementia maybe lah.
It's okay.
So
No,
you have to walk with you. Just now I was talking about what lah?
you were talking about
the-
kerabu mihan
Mihan
nyonya.
Nyonya.
Kerabu.
Not kerbau.
Kerabu.
Yeah, so
kerabu.
that's what I thought. It'd be nice this time because my mother just passed away that I said I do this dish, a tribute to my mother, or my grandmother, and for being in Singapore, for lovely Singapore. Otherwise, no Singapore, no Chef Wan ma.
So what
no
is the
mother,
dish?
kan?
What is the dish?
The dish is actually my great grandmother also used to make this kerabu nyonya bihun, especially during birthday, everybody birthday, because when you have all that long noodle for the Chinese peranakan,
Longevity.
yeah, longevity. Everybody wants really long, so probably why they all died 90 plus,
That's
Yeah, my mother 90. I thought she can live more than that. After her 90th birthday, gone, and she has cancer, dementia, Alzheimer. Yeah, so. So that was it. But other than that, everyone live above 90. So I get lucky. I'm not being 100 years old. Because my grandmother don't talk like me one, people who talk like me can talk longer, make people happy. God said, never mind, give him another 10 years more to live.
There you go.
90 become 100 years old lah. Even I'm shaking also like that. My mouth still talking. The doctor test me, hey, this one died already lah, pass away already lah. And suddenly the mouth open. In the coffin, the mouth can open one. Very special.
For those of you who didn't catch the earlier part of the show, Chef Wan was actually born here in Singapore.
he
And I'm
was.
so happy because I was also born in KK, Kandang Kerbau.
So was I.
Oh, you also?
I think every
you were in a
child
private
was.
hospital.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
Oh, okay. What about you?
No, I was in Jurong. Jurong
I
Hospital.
didn't even know there was a hospital in
Yeah,
Jurong
well, at the time, yeah.
during that
So
time.
we all like sibling lah. Kadang kerbau.
Can you just explain to people what kerabu is? So they
Kerabu.
understand?
Kerabu is a simple word in Malay, means just salad. Yeah, because of the words name. So instead of using salad, kita panggil kerabu.
Kerabu.
And kerabu in the Malay culture, usually they use a variety of fresh vegetables and herbs put together. So there are many kinds of kerabu. For example, you have fiddle fern, even the tauge can make kerabu with siham and all that. And then of course in Malay also we use a lot of people like jackfruit, nangka, even citrus thing like jambu also can be a lot of using variety of kerabu.
Right.
So
Why is it
kerabu usually is a starter for a salad because it's usually sour, spicy with a bit of calamansi. So it's kind of like when you have that kerabu to start with, it helps to generate
opens up
more.
the palates.
Because it's a bit sour and all that sweet and all that. So it can be many kinds of. But this particular one is delicious and it's got so many ingredients inside. And you can just toss them together. So if you need to live 100 years like my grandmother, you come and eat the salad.
So everything that Chef Wan is talking about, all these dishes, amazing dishes, will be showcased at Ginger at Park Royal on Beach Road, starting on the 5th of March, going all the way through to the 30th of April.
All right. Now, earlier on you mentioned jambu. Why is it whenever you see a pretty girl, we go,
You say jambu.
I also get a lot like that.
Hey,
I'm
you
not
also
pretty girl.
jambu.
Yeah, they call me jambu once upon a time lah. When they say jambu means
But
I
jambu
gain
is
it.
also
Chef,
a
you still
fruit,
jambu.
right?
Jambu,
Still jambu.
Is that the meaning because of that fruit?
Yeah, because it's pretty like it's pink,
pink.
and then you see the shape very shiny, glossy like that. So when they say, "Hey, ini budak ni jambu," I pun shake a bit lah. Twinkle a bit lah. Ya kah, cik? Budak ni jambu lah. I used to get when I was in school lah.
I'm sure.
I'm sure these days as well.
I'm sure you
And
still
say lah,
get it.
once a star, darling, forever a star. You
Absolutely.
glitter in the dark lah.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Club tadi power failure in Zouk, you cannot see people fine, but you can see Chef Wan there standing like, I'm here.
So for your fans who are going to try the Malaysia's Palace cuisine at Ginger at Park Royal and Beach Road, will they catch a glimpse of you in the next few
on
days?
the 12th, I'm going to come back again.
Okay.
For these few days, I'm training the chef and all that.
Sure.
So I'm going to come back again, and then so I'll be here for 5 days, and so of course I get to meet them. So we will have a fan session as well, where they can have lunch, and then I think it started at 2:30 until 4:30 that afternoon on the 12th.
Okay.
So they need to book for the seats and all that, and they also get a free cookbook as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
So they'll be giving 50. So whoever book first will get the 50 cookbooks free.
So it's on the 12th,
I
is
will
it?
autograph that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Can we be there?
yes, you can.
can we be there?
Of course you can be there.
Have they put his finger?
I put my finger. I want the cookbook.
I didn't know that Singapore got corruption also.
Oh, yeah.
Just talk free means everybody also want to be there.
All right, we are with the one and only Chef Wan right here on Kiss
I
92.
thought in Malaysia got corruption.
Up next, Mendoza and Good Boys. Here's Piece of Your Heart on Kiss 92.
God. Silakan.
Okay.
We got a prize to give away.
We've got some
yes, we've
WhatsApp
got a-
messages. We got a
Yeah.
WhatsApp
I'm
message
gonna have a
stacked
look.
for
Yeah,
Chef
yeah.
Wan.
Yes, we've got a lot.
Okay.
A lot of people are waiting to try your food.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you had many fans here in Singapore, but
Oh.
I think it's grown. It's grown
Chef
even more.
Wan's fans
No.
here.
I
are
love
tens upon
I love being in
thousands.
Singapore. I love one thing that in Singapore the people are when everywhere I go lah, for my friend they're so friendly, so loving, especially all the makcik-makcik, auntie-auntie, all that now. I had friend one time that come to my restaurant in one market years ago. I had Plaza Singapura.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, she's like almost also 90 plus. Auntie like cannot forget no. One time she see me, she remember then she forget. Then one time she come, so we invited her because she's in this old Cheshire home. So every month I used to host dinner for 30 over old people,
Yeah,
just
I
bagi
remember.
makan lah, bring
I
them
remember.
in, feed them and all that. So when she saw me many times, sometimes when she see me, I feed dinner, give her dessert, and then out of a second she look at me like, lu siapa? She can tell me, can you? Because dementia kan.
Yeah.
In the beginning, she knew me. I'm Chef Wan. Thought suddenly she stare at me, and then I say, "Hello, Anne, how are you?" Lu siapa? Oh, you're so funny. And sometimes when I see you, I say, when she says, "Lu siapa?" I say, "Gua Jesus Christ. Gua coming for you lah. You want to go to heaven or you want to go hell?" And then the other friend say, "Hey, don't say like that, Chef Wan. You scared her lah. You can see her face. Hey, gua Jesus Christ. I'm coming to pick you up. You want to go to heaven or hell lah?"
Chef, tell us, like, who inspires you? I mean, when it comes to your cooking, when it comes to life, who inspires you?
I think in a lot of time, my mom lah a bit because she works hard. Or this, trying to improve recipes and all when she was young. That's how we work together. But I think a lot of time nobody inspired me. Like somebody, I'm Gordon Ramsay lah, Jamie Oliver lah, Nigella, all that BS. No, I don't believe in that. Because for me, I'm self-inspired. Because just watching the world, because the world is so beautiful. Everywhere you travel,
Yeah.
every country, so many kinds of food, isn't it?
Yeah.
And beautiful people, beautiful culture. So if you learn that and you just reciprocate back, the world is under your feet. So basically, from my experience today, I always see that I'm giving back to the whole world or what the world has given to me in that true sense. So I travel the world. So the world basically inspired me. Everyone, you see, even out in the street, you see how people are so dedicated in their hawkers food, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
And they can even get Michelin star because they work so hard to improve all that. So people don't like, how come? I say, why not? Give them while they're alive. Why give them when they are dead already?
Exactly.
You want to,
True.
So let them
That's
have the
so
benefit
true.
because they work day and night even for one simple dish. Like what is wrong? A dedicated, to them. So that's why I think in a lot of time, what inspired me around is just how the world goes around.
The things
Because I
around
always
you.
believe the world is so beautiful. You're beautiful, I'm beautiful, darling, we're all beautiful. Feel beautiful, love more, be happy, Yeah, because life is so short, In my 65 years of living, I've seen many things, in life, As I say, like when you travel the world, you see, you see many things. So that's why this is all part of spice of life, I say, So that's why it's important, be inspired every day by just, simple thing, enjoy life, enjoy people, be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Be
yeah,
courteous,
sure.
be courteous.
What goes around
be loving,
comes around,
and
right?
always remember be respectful of people because in the end, regardless of what color of the skin,
We all
blood or
bleed the
whatever,
same blood.
It's the same blood.
It's the
It's
same
the same
blood.
blood that
Yeah.
runs to us, and we live in one world, one humanity.
Yeah.
There's always going to be back apple talking about racism lah, whatever
Yeah.
they want to do about discrimination, but we as a person, we always put next to our heart this beautiful love.
Yeah.
Love people and show that love, that respect, that kindness, by giving, by sharing and all that. Take it. Even when I was taking taxi cab yesterday, coming to Paragon, whatever, I just changed that. I didn't have enough cash, But every time the taxi say how much, I always add another $5 or $10. And the
Right.
man say, oh, uncle, buy coffee lah, just buy coffee. Just buy lunch lah, not a lot, just 5, 10, what do you call it, sing extra
Yeah.
dollars. Just bagi.
Yeah.
Kan?
Because you are blessing them, no?
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, for sure.
When they have the
So it
extra
comes
dollars,
back to
5
you,
or
yeah.
10
You're
ringgit,
giving forward. You're
$10
giving
they can buy a cup of coffee. Just give lah.
Yeah.
So even you didn't buy coffee.
It
you don't
doesn't
eat-
make a difference to you.
Yeah, anything. And you see a
Yeah.
child, sick people, and sometimes kids take picture with me at the airport. Take. And after that, I say, oh, I got 50 ringgit. I give the kid. Beli chocolate. I've got 3 children also. I give. Just
Yeah.
and children happy. And imagine they're going to remember this for the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
Because when I was young before, I get that same blessing. Oh, my auntie come Singapore, give me $2, $5. I always remember that. So, but now when I
give
work,
back.
I give back. My auntie say, ampau, wow, so much you give me ampau. Take lah. Before last time, you give me $2, $3. I feel so happy. Now it's time for me to give you back. To buy clothing for you, to take you out to dinner, all that. You say, oh, you're so kind. You say, kindness is very important. But
And it-
share.
yeah.
Don't keep. Share and give. Yeah. Because before it takes so little to be happy. Betul tak?
That is
I would
true.
say, you can wear one ring. You can wear one watch. You can
That's
live
it.
only at one house at one time. You can only drive one car. I can't
Yeah.
even drive a car.
Yeah.
I have one car, belongs to the company and the driver, and that's it. And the rest, you can only eat this much of food. Sometimes for me, curry 3 days, 4 days, fish curry, so I can wall up the same thing. Don't want to waste.
True.
And that's why people say, how what? Just live simple. Because when you think about this, how simple life is, there are many other people who are suffering war, famine, everything out there. So that's why.
And be grateful.
Yeah,
I think
be
this
grateful.
message is so
And
important.
compassion,
Yeah.
compassion,
Compassionate, yeah.
Because the world has to be, and then love people, love the environment, take care of the environment. If you want to pee, shoot at the right place, lah. Don't drip everywhere. Yesterday I want to go to the toilet, I zip my fly. Oh sorry, the fly lah. And I saw all this drip on the floor. I said, ayo, Singapore and
can't
Malaysia
even
same
aim,
lah.
right?
Tembak there lah. Why must
men,
drip
men
everywhere?
are the same
Yeah,
everywhere.
No,
in
but
the
do you
world,
notice how
But
this
I never check the women's toilet. How?
Sometimes
hear-
very dirty also.
Very
Drip
dirty.
also,
I tell you,
How they drip?
the women's toilets are I think dirtier than the
Really,
men's
ah?
toilets.
Oh.
Yeah,
How
it's
did we
awful.
go from war and famine
To
and
toilets.
helping people to how you pee?
And
This is how
environment,
spontaneous we
environment.
are.
Yeah, a lot of things happen sometimes.
Correct,
A couple of your fans on YouTube, Nash said, Chef Wan, I'm still drooling from your food when I tried it at your Chef Wan cafe at East Mall in KL.
Oh, thank you. So sweet.
Joanda also says I was at Chef Wan's restaurant D1 at the Link KL just 2 weeks ago. Food is delicious, serving is generous. We'll
Thank
go
you.
again.
Terima kasih.
Yeah.
I'm going to KL in 2 weeks' time.
Hey,
I'm
Text
going
me,
to go.
okay? I'm going to host you. No pay one, free. Yeah, any one of
Hey,
you.
I'm also coming.
Come,
No, I am.
come.
I'm not the same weekend.
You'll
but
be
I'm
in
coming.
KL in,
Yeah, of
in 2
course,
weeks.
of course, I'm around. Yeah,
Yeah.
you text me, I'll give you my number. Come.
Okay.
This is the whole world is listening. I'm giving you free food.
Careful, everybody come.
Free, a bit of corruption also lah. Because they have talked very nice about my restaurants, a bit corruption here lah. Kasi makan free lah.
That's how it works. That's how it
world.
But I love that message of being thankful.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes
It's true.
we tend to forget it. And here in Singapore
And
also sometimes
always
we
remember,
complain too much.
For it takes so little to be happy.
And to be kind also, it takes so little to be kind.
Very important. That's why I love going to hospital to see old people, children with cancer, and I pledge money and gave all this for autistic children, for this, even for SPCA, for the dog and cats. Every year I give all this whatever, and then donation, because you know why? Support them. Because when you die, you cannot take any of this. You can't
No,
take. You
you
leave
can't.
nothing. You
Yeah.
just remember that word that Steve Jobs, before he died, he passed away with all this money, and say, if only I had done this. By the time it's too late.
Don't live with
So that's
regrets,
why
sir.
for me, I rather die poor, not a lot or whatever, but I've done all these wonderful things. So when you close your eyes, you're like, yes,
Yeah.
life is a challenge. Life is one huge sacrifice. Every day in your life, you sacrifice. So sacrifice for yourself, for society, for your parents. Care for the elderly. Love your mother, love your father. If you can, don't put them at old folk home, but take care of them. Take care of them, yeah? It's so important. And I did that for my mother, and took care of her for the longest time, And I earned a lot of respect from people out there for what I just did.
But that's not why you do it. You do it because you want to do it.
Yeah. Oh my God, you have
Yeah.
one mother in this
Yeah.
world. Satu. Or like you have one father in this world. And they means the world to you.
Yeah.
Without them, we are nothing.
I love this message.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going back on the radio. Perhaps
want to-
maybe we
We gotta
can
do this.
We can
Yeah.
touch on
We gotta do
a
this
little
one
bit of
more
that
time.
15
once
seconds.
again.
This is our last talk set on
Last
air.
talk
On
Yeah,
air,
okay.
okay.
In 3, 2.
Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars in there as well. Skates right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We're so honored, so privileged to have with us Chef Wan in the studio.
Thank you.
It's been marvelous speaking to you all morning.
Yeah, it's been but our bellies are aching, our cheeks are aching
Yeah.
because we've been smiling and laughing so much. But
Can't
Chef
wait
Wan,
to try your food as well.
absolutely, yeah. Chef Wan's food, Malaysia's Palace Cuisine, will be on showcase. Well, ready for you to order at Ginger at Park Royal on Beach Road from the 5th of March to the 30th of April, just in time for Ramadan as well. You're extending it by a few more dates. These are heritage dishes that not a lot of people would have had the chance to try because this is not street food, right?
Ayam
This is
pecik Kelantan.
Yeah.
Rendang dang giala.
Gala, gala perak.
Gala from Perak.
Gala.
Yeah.
Kuzi kambing Johor,
Yeah,
laksa Johor,
Yeah.
kerabu mihan
Mihan Nyonya.
Nonya,
Mihun, yeah.
which
I want to try laksa Johor.
Yes, it's delicious.
which brings me to the point that our boss Stephen Chu actually said, and he's never said this with any of our guests. When you come back. Do come back into the studio. We are inviting you back, but you have to bring food with you.
No
he
problem.
said he
No
did
problem.
say, he said this on YouTube. I promise you.
I thought he was
So
going to say,
kind and
yeah,
sweet
okay, you
of
come
you.
back
Back-
again,
come back again for
Chef
the
Wan,
show.
and
Yeah.
we are going to treat you. So
host
what,
you,
you're
right?
asking him to come back and ask him to
I've-
treat us?
Bring-
Wow,
I've
we're
gotta say-
asking a lot out of you, Chef.
No, but I've got to say, I've eaten Chef Wan's food more than once, and you are never ever disappointed. So anyone who's listening to us now who has never tried Chef Wan's food, you make sure you try it this time because the food is absolutely impeccable.
But I bet you've not tried the
I
Malaysia's palace cuisine.
No, the Palace Cuisine.
And I'm
absolutely not.
looking
I
forward also to find the proper location. I hope this year to have my restaurant in
Oh,
here.
in
I want to do
Singapore.
a good Malay restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah, so
fantastic.
if
You
there's
investors
anybody,
or not?
if
I
there's
mean-
anybody out there who have nice property, piece of land not too expensive, right location, do let me know. Nowadays you can just DM on my underscore
Marina Bay
Chef
Sands.
158.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere,
Marina Bay
but not too
Sands.
expensive.
He
lah.
said not too expensive, yeah.
Because you know
Paragon.
why? The rental cannot be too because I want my restaurant to be a place where everybody goes. Family.
Accessible.
Accessible.
Whatever you do,
know,
if
don't-
someone suggests Ang Mo Kio Hub, no.
don't want Michelin star, please. Don't want. They must be where the food cannot be
I
too
think
expensive.
a shop house would be nice.
Yes,
for
yeah,
you. A
affordable
shop
for
house.
everybody.
Yeah.
So we want to do because I want that to be a good Malay restaurant to represent Malay culture, to represent the cuisine itself and all that, and then and that's it, and then make sure that every Tom, Dick, and Harry can come, family to eat and all that. Nice place. Because I always believe good food does not have to be expensive.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all. Not at
No.
all. Yeah. So sometimes people say, hey, because you're Chef Wan, you have to sell a bit.
The name,
No,
yeah.
I said no. Because for me, if you're going to take this money to give to so many charitable organizations, why can you take this
And offset the price, right?
and all that, and by making it affordable.
Yeah.
Who cares? Whether you're Michelin star, you're famous, not important. But what is most important is here.
Yeah.
The spirit of giving and sharing,
Yeah.
the honesty, and making the best food at the table for just about everybody. So they can say, oh my God, I love this, I love it. And coming back, give it the family and eat and enjoy. And it makes me happy. For, like I said, money, you cannot measure with happiness, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you have that happiness, you can pile up your money that much also, it's fine. Or
Yeah.
you don't have money also, you can still be happy. So that one thing I always tell myself, there are many things you can do in life, It's all a form of charitable also.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is true.
So
It is
doing
true.
business become greedy,
Yeah.
So that's why we're very successful
Gotta
in
give
Malaysia. We have 9 restaurants. Out of that, we have 3 good Malay restaurants, and the rest are all cafes. And the next one, number 10, is opening in 2 weeks' time at IOI Putrajaya. Very big cafe.
Nice.
Food from all over the world. Cafe Chef
Oh,
Wan.
so not just Malaysian food.
No. Cafe
Okay.
Cafe Chef Wan, especially for like bistro cafe food from all. But we also have some Asian delight as well. But the rest are all kinds of. We have paella, we have Moroccan
Pastas.
tagine, we have pasta and all that. And because sometimes when family comes to eat, some like
Yeah,
this food, some
true.
like Vietnamese pho, some
Yeah.
like this. So I try to put different paella and all that, and pasta and pizza. So this is burgers. So it's very popular. And then the people say, what I love, you get very generous helping, and your food is affordable and it's tasty. That's why we won the Michelin Bib
Bib
Award.
Gourmand,
Because
yeah.
why? That's exactly what they give for
Yeah, yeah.
because it's affordable, it's very tasty, and the revenue is high. It shows the popularity, and all is crowded, and that's success. Like how much more you need in life,
And
kan?
putting smiles on people's
And then I go
faces.
in, I like big mama son, sit down, borak-borak on Sunday. I'm at the table, until by the time everybody finish, I go back to my house, 4 o'clock, my jaw open because I'm so tired talking. I haven't had lunch. Or puasa time, buka puasa, I'm like everywhere. I'm like big mama son, hello darling, flirting with everybody. Rabah, dia touch, lucky no sexual harassment. But they all the auntie all love me, I can see that because I feel very close also, especially when you see old people, you love people, they become part of like your family, kan? And then sometimes also I give free food also, see big family, and I say, hey, they all didn't get the fish, so I go behind, order prawn besar-besar, like nyonya udang curry and all that, and I just send to the table, as a gift lah.
Okay.
They're very happy like that.
All right, Chef, before we let you go, I just want to ask you, what is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, God, to be honest with you, for the longest time has always been my mother fried rice. It's nothing, It's just, I remember my mother just pound onion, chili, belacan, all that, and then anchovy, all that, and then she just stir fry everything with the rice, and that's always been a comfort food for me, for my mother's side. For my grandma, it's always been this porridge that she makes me, fish porridge, So that's...
Is it on your menu?
Yes, because no matter how much it's on the menu. So no matter how much you eat all this kind of thing, it's also in the Ramadan menu. Our selection of porridge from Manado from Malaysia, from many countries. So people love even our soup. We have all the Moroccan. Even we have Malaysian, but in KL we all have also all this Moroccan soup with all this lamb meatball and all that.
Yeah.
So we try to feature different cuisine from different. Also, beside our typical Malay, Thai, Indonesian, so it's huge variety. That's why it is very, very popular. So for me, that's comfort food. Things that you relate to memories, and you eat, and it makes you feel like you miss your mother, your parents, all that. Because that's what you fed.
Pay homage to,
simple.
yeah.
And then when you learn to eat simple food, you also learn to be a simple person.
Absolutely.
Just take it easy lah.
Thank you,
That's why I
Chef
say,
Wan.
My life like que sera, whatever will be, que sera, whatever will be, kan? What the future lies ahead, you don't know. So just smile happy lah.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef Wan, for
Thanks,
being
Chef.
with us this morning. And once again,
Thank
you
you
can
for having
catch
me.
Malaysia's Palace Cuisine by Chef Wan from the 5th of March to the 30th of April at Ginger at Park Royal on Beach Road.
Thank you very much, Chef Wan, for being here with us
And
today.
thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to everyone. Love you.
Oh, there you go. How appropriate. We're on Kiss 92.
Kiss.
And kiss everybody.
Coming up, headline news and sports.